I will be the first to admit now that I've been very excited about Phonak's new Audéo Sphere Infinio hearing aids. However, my responsibility to you, my loyal YouTube community, is to go beyond just outlining those positives. So stick around to hear the top 5 reasons that I think that you should buy them. However, they are definitely not without their flaws. So I have an equal number of negatives that you need to consider before you do. So it's been a few weeks now since I attended the epic launch of this new hearing aid technology, and I was delighted to be the only audiologist from the UK to attend. And now I've had some time to get hands-on with them. Here are 5 standout features that I think are worth shouting about. Firstly is Phonak's introduction of their Deep Sonic chip, which is a world first, as these hearing aids contain a separate computer chip which is designed to separate the speech that you want to hear from background noise. And honestly, I wish that you could have all been exposed to the demonstrations that I have, because not only does it work, but it works incredibly well. In fact, in a couple of weeks' time, I aim to upload some sound files demonstrating its capabilities versus some of Phonak's competitors. So make sure that you watch this space. This Deep Sonic chip essentially cleans up speech from noise using artificial intelligence in the form of a deep neural network, which has been trained using 22 million sound samples and is capable of performing 7.7 billion operations per second. As a result, Phonak are boasting that this provides a 10 decibel signal-to-noise ratio improvement and up to 36.7% enhancement in speech understanding in noisy environments, as compared to their competitors. Now, you don't need to just take my word for it. Here at Hearing Tracker, we have teamed up with HearAdvisor, an independent hearing aid vetting lab, who have built a breathtaking audio lab that allows for the independent testing of all hearing aid technology. Now, the mastermind behind this is Dr. Steve Taddy, and for the first time ever, this setup allows for the comparison of hearing aid products using a standardized test battery. Now, you might be thinking, why is this important? Well, instead of relying on each manufacturer's testing, in which somehow they always manage to find a way to rank themselves as number 1 with their own results, for the first time, it's now possible to compare each manufacturer reliably. So here's the latest data from HearAdvisor, comparing all manufacturers' latest products. And as you can see, the new Audéo Sphere Infinio is leaps and bounds ahead of every other hearing aid manufacturer for speech in noise performance. So the take-home message is that this artificial intelligence Deep Sonic chip is really doing what Phonak are promising. Impressive new feature number 2 is Phonak's update to AutoSense from version 5 to version 6. Now, AutoSense is one of my favorite adaptive programs out there, which is designed to continuously analyze your surrounding acoustic environment and make real-time adjustments to optimize sound clarity and comfort. This feature automatically categorizes the world into 7 key areas, including calm situations, speech in noise, spheric speech in loud noise, speech in car, comfort in noise, and music, of which your audiologist has full control over how these hearing aids react in each specific environment and can adjust them accordingly, which, in my opinion, is unrivaled by any other hearing aid manufacturer out there at this moment in time. With this new AutoSense development, Phonak are claiming that they have enhanced speech understanding by a further 16% and reduced listening effort by up to 45%, which again contributes to the hearing aids reducing background noise, making it easier for you to focus on conversations, meaning that you can rely more on your ears and less on focusing on lip reading and the context within a sentence. Phonak have always been pretty unique in their approach to connectivity, and they're the only manufacturers out there to use classic Bluetooth, allowing you to connect to any Bluetooth source, including smartphones, tablets, and computers. This integration supports a wide range of audio codecs, ensuring high-quality streaming regardless of the source. And it also supports dual streaming, allowing you to connect to multiple devices simultaneously, which isn't possible from any other hearing aid manufacturer at this moment in time. Within the Infinio family of hearing aids in general, Phonak have improved the transmission power over their previous models of hearing aids, providing a far more stable Bluetooth connection, which firstly ensures consistent audio quality and connectivity over a longer distance, And secondly, creates a seamless and lag-free transition when switching audio between different audio sources. On top of that, the Spheres also support hands-free calling, which is pretty limited. It's still there, but it's pretty limited with other hearing aid manufacturers, meaning that you can keep your phone in your pocket and then the microphones on your hearing aids are picking up your voice to send to the other person on the end of the phone, which is both the positive and the negative at the same time, which you'll see later on in today's video. And then the final connectivity feature, which I think that Phonak are right to be bragging about, is the introduction of LE audio, meaning that they're also Auracast ready and will be compatible with the pending Auracast transmitters that we're likely to see being rolled out in public venues over the next few years. Now, it's worth noting that whilst it's built into the Infinios, it hasn't yet been activated. This is likely to be done in the future with a simple and free firmware update. At this moment in time, in my opinion, it's not really a big deal. As far as I'm aware, there are no public venues that have yet installed the Auracast transmitters. But I do promise to update you on this channel as soon as I know any more about that update. Reason number 4 that you should buy the Infinio Sphere is its versatility. As far as suitability goes, these are the fitting ranges for the interchangeable receiver wires. So, whether you have a mild, moderate, severe, or profound hearing loss, they're technically suitable for you. And I'm delighted to say that this also includes Phonak's ActiveVent receivers, which I am a big fan of. This receiver, which is unique to Phonak, has a built-in moving piston that changes its position depending on your listening environment, and then diverts either more or less sound naturally down your ear canal, or on the contrary, via the hearing aids. So why would we want this? In turn, this will change how well you hear in noise, how clear your voice sounds, how clearly you can hear in general, and also how music sounds when it's being streamed from your phone. If you're wondering if this matters, yes, it does, a lot. There are both positives and negatives to having your ear canals either open or closed. And depending on your hearing loss, sometimes it's beneficial to have a hearing aid that can do both, but on different occasions, which until ActiveVent was released by Phonak, this wasn't possible. For example, in a quiet environment, you might want the vent to be open, allowing natural sound in and out, giving you a nice, natural feeling, connecting you with your environment. Yet when in noise, it's better to have your ears closed, so that all of the sound that you're hearing is via your hearing aids, having been cleaned of background noise. The same thing goes for music and streaming, so when streaming from your phone, the ActiveVent will close, both blocking sound in and blocking sound out simultaneously, which should enhance your music, giving it a greater fullness and richness when the sound is being streamed from your phone. Now, my 5th and final reason that I think you should definitely try out these hearing aids before I come on to the not so great elements about them are their robustness. With Phonak's previous family of hearing aids, Phonak had one standout model which was brutally tested and pushed to the limits in terms of robustness. This was called their Life model. Now, when I was recently at the launch for the Audéo Sphere Infinio hearing aids, Phonak were screaming from the rooftops about this extra protection having resulted in far less breakdowns over the last few years. And I am delighted to tell you today that Phonak have taken on board your feedback about the previous standards just not being good enough. So those of you that have seen my videos before know that I always share both sides of the story. And whilst everything that I've listed so far is exactly what I would want a hearing aid to do, it wouldn't be fair of me to not give you a balanced view of the technology. And there are 5 things which mean that the Audéo Sphere Infinios are not perfect for everybody out there. Now, I'm also going to take this opportunity to point out that you'll be surprised to hear, very surprised to hear, that 75% of people that watch my videos haven't yet hit the subscribe button. So I want to ask a huge favor of you now. If you've ever enjoyed any of my videos, then please press this subscribe button down here. Simply put, it helps the channel to grow, and the bigger the channel gets, the better my videos will get. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of today's video. So, shameless plug aside, let's discuss size. I honestly don't think that the size of these hearing aids is an issue, and I don't want you to dwell too much on it, but I know that it was also a concern that Phonak had when they were launching this technology. So just to give you an idea in terms of size, here is a banana for scale. Then you can see Phonak's previous model, the Lumity R, and also their biggest current competition, the Oticon Intent. In all honesty, gone are the days when it used to be the race for the smallest hearing aids. Yes, there are, without question, smaller receiver in canal hearing aids out there, such as the Moment 10s, but it comes at a significant cost for functionality. For example, you will lose Bluetooth connectivity, rechargeability, and overall functions around clarity and noise reduction capabilities. Saying that, if size is a very important factor for you watching me today, then I would check out this video in which I compare all receiver in canal hearing aids for size. Regular viewers to this channel also know that I love a YouTube poll because your opinion is so important to me and it's the only way I can hear about what's important to you. Here are the results of a recent poll asking how your hearing aids were powered, with at least a third of you stating that you use disposable batteries. Now, of course, I cannot be certain on this, but I am 99% sure, 99.9% sure, that the Audéo Sphere Infinios will never be released in a disposable battery option. I know that's a brave statement to make, but I feel that with the computational power within these hearing aids and the energy that's needed to drive them, I just don't think that a zinc air battery will meet its needs. Now, that isn't to say that the lesser spec Audéo Infinios won't come with a disposable battery option in the future, a little bit like we saw with the Phonak Lumity hearing aids, but it is worth noting that it was a good 2 years after their initial release that we saw the non-rechargeable version. Now, I just knew that battery life was going to be a factor with these hearing aids. And why did I know that? Well, way back when I was initially exposed to these hearing aids back in January this year, way before they were released, Phonak at a top secret event coyly asked us how important was it that the batteries on these hearing aids will last for a full day. Well, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that there may be some issues around this, or it might be an issue going forwards with regards to it, therefore lasting for a full day. So what does this mean in reality as far as you're concerned? If the hearing aids are working in their AutoSense setting and adapting according to your environment and you have a balanced lifestyle, then I am pleased to report that you will not have issues with battery life. They will last you for a full day. Where the issue comes in is that when the artificial intelligence spheric speech in loud noise mode, which is the new unique combination of directional microphone technology and spheric speech clarity, trying to say that after a drink, continuous use could potentially reduce the battery life to around half of its capability. Half. Only time will tell in reality if this is a significant problem for normal daily use. And I would love to know if you've already been fitted with these hearing aids, if battery life has been an issue for you. So please share your experiences in the comments beneath this video for anybody else that's watching it who's considering buying these hearing aids. So as far as connectivity goes, very simply put, there is no Telecoil and no CROS system compatibility with the Spheres. And I am a big fan of both. If you are interested in the Telecoil, then you'll have to stick with Phonak's Lumity family of hearing aids for now, or look into one of Phonak's competitors. However, if you're interested in a CROS system, then you can look at the standard Infinios. In all honesty, the lack of a Telecoil shouldn't be an issue for you going forwards with the introduction of LE Audio and Auracast. However, until we see that global rollout of those transmitters into public venues, and if you're used to utilizing a loop system, then these hearing aids may not be right for you. The fifth issue that I have identified with the Infinios is the fact that Phonak use classic Bluetooth. Yes, you heard me correctly, this came up in the positives too, and that's because in my opinion, it is a blessing and a curse at the same time. All right, that sounds quite dramatic. It's not that bad at all. But one feature that my patients love about their Phonak hearing aids is the fact that their microphones will pick up their voice when they're on the phone, and you can keep your phone in your pockets, giving you a truly hands-free experience. A bit like using a set of AirPods when you're on a phone call. The downside of this is that I have some patients, and again, this depends on the phone that they use, who report that if they take a call in a moderately noisy environment, then the person on the other end of the call may struggle to hear them speaking. Now, to be fair, this is an issue with all manufacturers. However, the other guys do allow you to turn it on and to turn it off. Now, I don't actually know if this will change when the LE audio features are enabled down the line, but stay tuned and I will report back on this as soon as I do know any more information. But I do at the same time know there is a fix if you're an Apple user, which is to enable voice isolation mode on the phone itself. Now, I do have a video, which I've got on YouTube, and I'll link in the description to today's video, in which I can show you how to enable this. So do try it out if you're having any issues with this. When enabled, this feature isolates the microphones on your hearing aids to pick up your voice only, and it cuts out, or it aims to cut out, the surrounding noise, making it better for those hearing you on the other end of your phone call, and it does work. So now you should have a balanced view of all of this new technology. But before you even consider buying them, you have to check out this video reviewing all of the latest hearing aids available in 2024.